Hello, everybody. My name is Haster, and this silly goober is Rachel Maddow, also known as Raging Mad Cow. But that's an ad hominem. She is one of the dumbest people on the internet, and I have to pat her time in order to make sure that the YouTube algorithm doesn't necessarily obliterate this video. So, put simply, she is a highly unintelligent person. She is a highly dishonest person, not always a liar, but she definitely doesn't always tell the whole truth. And I know what you're saying, Haster. How can you say that? Those are ad hominems. Well, as I'm going to show within the first 2 minutes of this godforsaken 13-minute video, uh, you'll quickly see what I'm talking about. But hold on, scratching my eye. I don't have hand tracking enabled, so I'm sorry, you're not going to watch me nearly gouge my eye. But without further ado, I will let the silly lady speak.
Good afternoon. I'm Rachel Maddow. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and
This was posted by. Hold on here. Let me pull him over. This guy right here. If you want to go see his original post. But this was originally posted. I think it aired on the 28th also. But it was posted 2:31 p.m. February 8th. Sorry, February 28th, 2026. I can't read numbers apparently. Call me Gavin Newsom. But long story short, fuck you.
you are joining MS Now's ongoing coverage of the United States having apparently started a war with Iran.
Congress has to approve of war. President can't start war before she fucking says it. I've had to try to record this video, like, I think this is number 3 now. I don't remember.
For some reason. Your guess, your personal guess, sitting at home watching me right now, your personal guess is as good as any.
My personal guess would be, the consistent funding of terrorism, like Hezbollah, Hamas, people like that. Yeah. Along with that, the nuclear program shenanigans, them still trying to develop a nuclear weapon, despite, getting their weenies slapped. How long ago was that? Like a few months? A few months ago? Something like that.
As to why the President of the United States has just started this war.
Oh, yeah, there's also the 30-ish thousand estimated protester executions. I think it's we yeah, approximately the most commonly cited range is 30,000 to 36,500 in higher estimates from leaked docs and medical testimony. Yeah. It could be from the really high fucking number of anti Soleimani protesters. I should specify that. Could be because of that. Trump saying, "Hey, don't touch the protesters," and they touch the protesters. So, no, I only have a few guesses. That could just be me. Could also be that Iran kind of. Oh, piss. Could also be that Iran said country is in full-fledged war with Israel and Europe last year. I don't know. All I can say is we didn't start the fire. I don't know.
In terms of pure rational deduction about what he is doing here, we can basically rule out rational deduction about what he is doing. My guess is as good as any as to why the President of the United States has just started this war.
President can't start a war. Only Congress can. president can do funny little military things, kind of like what Obama did when he manslaughtered, technically manslaughtered, 4 American citizens in a cafe over in, oh, where was it? Afghanistan? Can't remember where it was. But yeah, kind of did an oopsie daisy with an explosive, and explosive went thunk, and in the process of exploding, decided to. Well, I shouldn't say it decided, but it blasted a bunch of shrapnel into a cafe, like across the street, and it just wrecked everyone inside. It was like a giant claymore, and inside were 4 U.S. citizens, and Obama's still a free man, so I didn't hear her bitching and moaning about it then. But then again, I was just a wee lad, so what do I know? Silly little yellow fellow on the internet.
In terms of pure rational deduction about what he is doing here, we can basically rule out all of the reasons he has said he's doing it.
So why are you ruling them out? What? Why? It's almost like you don't really care what he says. In fact, you would rather just say, oh, no, he's wrong, for your own personal reasons. Why do I say that? Because she's a retard. Actively. Clinical, in fact.
Is Iran on the precipice of having ballistic missiles that can reach the United States?
Not immediately, but they have their space program, which they can use, which I have a tab for, right down here. In fact, actually, let me just, yeah, you go in the corner. Think about what you've said. Yeah, as per what expert, this is on the congressional website itself. Yeah, missile research and development. Experts have debated the extent to which Iran is capable of producing longer range missiles. Some U.S. intelligence officials and U.S. allies, including France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, have expressed concern about the potential dual purpose of Iran's space launch vehicle program, noting that such a program could be used to develop ballistic missiles in 2025. DIA? I think Department of International Affairs? Is that what that stands for? But, in 2025, the DIA assessed that Iran could use its space launch vehicles to, quote, develop a military viable ICBM by 2035, should Tehran decide to pursue the capability, end quote. So, not yet, but they're working toward it. And they've also said if they get one, they'll use it on us. But, what do I know? I'm a yellow fellow on the internet.
Absolutely not. The United States is
I wouldn't say absolutely, just not yet.
Far from Iran. One might even say it's a whole continent away, which means a ballistic missile launched from Iran to hit us here would have to be an intercontinental ballistic missile.
Wow. Good powers of deduction. It'd also have to go over an entire ocean. Did you know that? No matter which way you go. Unless you go over on, well, no. Yeah, you'd still have to go over an ocean. So, you need an interoceanic ballistic missile.
Does Iran have ICBMs? Does Iran have intercontinental ballistic missiles? No,
not yet.
It does not. And
not yet.
There's no known evidence or even serious allegation that Iran is anywhere near developing that technology.
Let me unscroll. Let me undo the scroll. I'll throw this in the here. If you want to look at it yourself, congress.gov, you can find it there. It's not terribly difficult to find. You can also find it under a Google search. You know, one of the biggest search engines out there. You can just find it. It's not that hard to find, Rachel. So that being said, yeah, I'll throw this in the description so you can look at it yourself. It's definitely Yeah, what did she just claim?
BMs. Does Iran have intercontinental ballistic
Ballistic
missiles? No,
missile.
it does not.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no known evidence or even serious allegation that Iran is anywhere near developing that technology anytime soon. Even Trump's Secretary of...
Oh, yeah. What does it say right here? Oh. He's expressed concern about the potential dual purpose of Iran's space launch vehicle program, noting such a program could be used to develop ballistic missiles. Oh. Oh. You're an idiot. Either that or you're a liar. Oh. I mean, consider this maybe this is just a curse of knowledge biasy. No, like I know this. I don't understand why she wouldn't, unless she's just some dipshit in a suit just reading something. Which, I mean, she is a dipshit in a suit. I mean, I don't know if she's reading anything or if she's pulling it out of her ass.
Of State Marco Rubio has recently admitting that the threat is only that maybe, quote, one day Iran might have that kind of capability.
Yeah, that's kind of what that says right there. Develop a military viable ICBM by 2035. That is one day. You can read. I guess you are reading something. Along with that, that's quotation out of context, but besides the point.
One day, just like you or I might one day learn to fly.
Yeah, get your pilot's license. I almost did, fun fact. But I have a terrible fear of not being able to pull over and get out of my car. It's really hard to do that with a plane.
Time travel?
Could be possible. I don't know. I mean, the last really likely success to check and see if time travel were possible was awarded by the Epstein files.
Is Iran a week away from industrial grade uranium enrichment, as the president's diminutive real estate friend Steve Witkoff?
Diminutive? No. No reason to go into ad hominem, you stupid bitch. That's truly disgraceful, especially for someone in such a high standard of a position. Sorry. What would a better way to phrase that be? Shut up, script reader. Oh, and along with that, Wickoff, he's an envoy of peace. He's some goofy, like, government position. Like, oh no. He's, what, an old buddy who would know how to smooth people? Schmooze? Booze and schmooze? Oh, and by the way, when it comes to the claim that she's about to make, don't worry. I have something.
Asserted this week when he was asked about the Iran talks he is inexplicably part of on behalf of the...
He's an envoy. I wouldn't say that's inexplicable. What is inexplicable is how you still have a job.
United States government and the people of the United States, despite his only relevant experience and training being that he is an old real estate friend of President Donald Trump.
So he has years of being able to talk people up and talk people down? Wow. It's almost like something you want in an envoy of peace. That's just me.
Iran, as Steve Witkoff says, a week away from achieving industrial grade uranium enrichment for their nuclear program? No, they are not.
There's evidence that they were pretty damn close way back when we bombed their facility. You know, back when it was said, oh yeah, they're a week away. Like a while ago. And magically, it's also worth noting through Reuters and via the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Association, there's a magic missing stock of weapons grade, near weapons grade uranium, just magically missing in Iran, of all places. Who would have thought? You know, the stuff that could be used for a weapon? I never would have guessed. Never would have guessed. But, fun fact, once you get that close, like once you get, I think it's 60% enrichment, it's very easy to go beyond that in comparison to like getting it from 40 to 60. It's kind of an exponential curve from what I've been told. But what do I know? I'm some yellow fellow on the internet.
only has there been no American or international evidence or
IAEA, you retard.
Intelligence made public that suggests even that they are doing
literally through Reuters.
That, but even the
near weapons grade. Near weapons grade. You know what you get after near weapons grade? You get weapons grade. Wow. Wow. It's almost like you're being... Oh, and you're even looking at it. Hold on. White House says Iran is close to weapons grade nuclear material. Experts say no. IAEA begs to differ because they can't find the near weapons grade uranium that is unaccounted for. So they know it's there. They know it exists. So I don't know what the Wall Street Journal's smoking over there, but there are experts that do say yes. And Iran's uranium enrichment program has stalled, says experts, despite U.S. war preparations. Oh, wait a minute. We bombed them. Right.
The Trump administration says explicitly that that is not happening. Marco Rubio on Wednesday at a press conference in St. Kitts and Nevis told reporters, quote, they are not enriching right now.
Because we blasted them. Along with that, they already have near weapons grade. They can still use that for something. It's called a dirty bomb. Yeah. It's not that far off from a nuclear. It's just not nearly as potent. I don't get why she's so hoity-toity.
So why is this happening? Have we just started a war with Iran because they have got some advanced nuclear program that's rushing toward a bomb?
Potentially. It's completely possible. Considering the fact that they've literally said, they as in Iran, before, you know, we did a little bit of trolling. Considering the fact that they themselves have said that if they get their hands on a nuclear weapon, they're going to use it on America. They are developing nuclear weapons to kill the big Satan, America. It's not that crazy.
Ask President Donald Trump, who insists that the last time he ordered the bombing of Iran in June, that, quote, totally obliterated their nuclear program.
Mm-hmm. Notice how... Here's something that a lot of people don't realize. When he bombed that, there were no casualties. Know what that means? It means we didn't get rid of the people that had the know-how to do it again. Because we didn't get rid of those people, which, for better or worse, but because we didn't get rid of those people, they still exist. Because they still exist. Words are hard. Because they still exist, let's say... Here, thought experiment. If you have ever driven somewhere, and then you had to drive there again, did it feel faster the second time? I bet it did. Because you knew what to expect, one way or the other. If you know how to do something, it gets faster the more you do it. Iran did a lot of enrichment. They didn't quite get to that 80% for weapons grade, like full weapons grade, but they got to about 60. And I mean, hey, you could definitely still use that. But that's besides the point. Because we didn't get rid of the people who knew how to do it, they're able to do it pretty quickly. Like, they're able to recover pretty well. Right? So I understand what she's trying to say. She's trying to say, oh, well, Trump said we obliterated it completely, so it should take longer. Either he was wrong then or he's wrong now. Well, no. We could obliterate then. We could have obliterated it then. But they could very easily recover now. It's not mutually exclusive.
It's hard to say that anything totally obliterated, gone, pulverized, erased from the earth might now suddenly be back again. And so therefore a war must urgently start today.
He didn't start a war. Only Congress can start a war. You fear-mongering cunt.
So what are we doing here? It's not that they're about to get us with intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's not that they are enriching uranium to such a degree that it is dangerous, and we must stop that.
They could use the uranium that they have at its current enrichment to make a bomb if they wanted to. The main concern isn't necessarily, oh, they're going to. It's, well, let me rephrase that. It is not like that they're going to make a nuke. It is that they are going to use the nuke. It is not necessarily that. Damn it. Let me think of a better way to phrase this. They can do something now with what they have. They want more. They would rather go big or go home than just, use what they have now. Because once they do it, that's it. Like, there's no more playing pretend. That's why we had to do it now, before they could get to that point. Like, I wish I could better put it into words, but unfortunately, I cannot. At least not immediately.
It's not that their nuclear program, which Trump says he obliterated, has somehow unobliterated itself.
The people unobliterated it. And that's why in history, like all of history, aside from a few select instances, did we absolutely make sure to kill leadership of people that we took over? Why did we do it? Because if the leaders survive, if the people who have the capacity to restart something survive, it will restart. So it's completely possible, once again, that the people who wanted it restarted it.
And is now a pressing danger again. Why did we just go to war with Iran?
We haven't gone to war with Iran. Once again, Congress hasn't approved it. Along with that, quite literally, Iran leader says country, oh, damn it. Yeah, all the way back in. Oh, yeah, 2025. Whoa. That's crazy. It's almost like she's full of shit.
The president has said a couple of times in recent days that he just wants the Iranian government to say the words that they are not pursuing a nuclear bomb, suggesting that if they would just say that, that would be enough to stop the United States from starting a war with them. Well, the Iranian government, actually, over and over again, keeps saying that
they also keep saying that they want one. In fact, they've said multiple times that they are pursuing it, once again, to kill America. Quite frankly, I wouldn't trust any of them as far as I can throw them. And I'm a tiny guy. I wouldn't be able to throw them very far. So I think it's more so he's trying to get them to say something. That way he can immediately point back to it. And then potentially use it in the future. But I'm not the funny orange man, so I don't know.
They are not developing.
I'm not orange. I'm yellow.
Developing a nuclear bomb. They will say it whenever you like. They say it whenever they are asked. So
they're also a band of liars. Something Takia something. They're allowed to lie whenever they're trying to pursue like the greater agenda of the Muslim religion. I think that's how that goes, if my memory serves. I don't know. Maybe I could ask Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow. Maddow. There we go. Sorry, words are hard, and I suck at words. But yeah, I could ask her. She's clearly the most well-read, well-researched person on what the Iranian government's doing.
That does not appear to be the reason either. So why do you think President Donald Trump has just done this? Why do you think he has just started a war with Iran? Is it
because the people in charge over there want to kill us? Because the people over there want to kill the citizens that decide, hey, we don't want to listen to you anymore. We want someone else in power. The same people that, fund the people that want to kill us. Same people that are trying to develop weapons that they have said multiple times they're going to use to kill us. I don't know what more you want.
As his heart bleeds empathetically on a human level.
Appeal to ridicule. Fuck you.
For the protesters in Iran who have been killed by their own government in such huge numbers.
Oh, how demeaning. What a cunt. Christ on a bike. If you really want to be picky, Trump said, hey, don't mess with the protesters. And Iran said, hold my beer. They don't drink beer over there. The hold my spring water? I don't know what they drink over there. Hold my apple juice, if that's halal. And, oh yeah, they, they murdered 36,500 on the high end. On the low end, only 30,000. Yeah, 36,000 to 30,000-ish. I'll go ahead and roll with it and say 30,000. You know, lowball it. But, oh no, he feels bad? How horrible. He's holding up his word? He's following through with what he said? Don't touch them, or I touch you? Oh, how horrible.
January and February of this year. Is it because Donald Trump really feels for the Iranian people? Is it because his heart throbs with a passionate support for the right of free speech and the right of people everywhere to protest against their own government and not face violence because of it?
What's that? Is that video or me?
Against their own government and not face violence.
Okay. We wanted to make sure my phone wasn't about to explode. I just hear having a Gila start.
Because of it.
Once again, what a cunt. Seriously. This whole thing was just an appeal to ridicule. Just a demeaning, just snobby, looking down the nose. Oh, he must feel this. He definitely is doing this out of the goodness of his heart. Yes, much like how Rachel Maddow truly feels for the terribly unfortunate dictatorial regime who slaughtered 36 to potentially only 30,000 of his constituents. Oh, how they funded multiple terror organizations. She's such a good soul. This rancid mad cow. What a cunt.
Is that what you think? If so, good morning. I hope you have slept well for this past decade in which you've been dead to the world.
Fuck you.
But
sorry. I can't help myself. It's like Tourette's. But I want to say it.
I mean, just suspend disbelief for a moment.
I just realized my mic isn't picking it up. I'm going, me when my mic doesn't pick up shit. I'm doing the, like the Scooby-Doo, like the warbling of the lips sound effect. Like that, but higher pitched. And because she's gonna start crying.
Just suppose that the reason the United States of America has just started this war with Iran is.
Holy shit, she didn't start crying. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to go kill a crow later.
Because, as the president said today in his weird pre-recorded video message in a baseball hat and a suit jacket that the White House released at 2:30 in the morning, the president said in that stilted, strange statement, squinting at the camera with his eyes shaded by the gigantic white hat he was wearing, he said that he's doing this because he wants the people of Iran to rise up and overthrow their despotic government.
Okay. How horrible?
At his instruction.
I'd say at his opportunity.
And maybe.
Oh, what? You're not going to show it? Come on, show it.
They will. Maybe they will try. But Iran is a huge, complex country.
Hey, how many bullets you got? I got 13. Sweet, I got 32. Rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a. It's fucking sand. Oh boy, how complex. Their biggest export is what? Oil and camels? Sorry, oil and rugs.
It is 92 million people.
That is smaller than some of our states.
It's more than triple the...
Oh wait, 92. Hold on. How many people are in Texas? I'm not a robot? What the fuck? Do, 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 do. Okay. For some reason, I fucking registered 92 as 9.2. But okay. So that's what, 3 Texas's worth of people and something about the state of Utah in size? I'd estimate, guesstimate, roundabout, give or take, something like that.
The population of Iraq or Afghanistan when we started our disastrous regime change wars in those 2 countries 2 decades ago.
That was 2 decades ago with a guy who did it for the love of the game. Like, let's be frank. Let's be frank. Bush was not in the Epstein files. He blew up those 2 countries for no reason, aside from just funsies. So, along with that, we have much clearer reasons for going into the countries we have gone into. And we aren't just going around going bam, 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 while making wild claims without any evidence. Bush. So, sorry, there's something in my throat.
Iran has considerable regular military forces, but it also has a huge Revolutionary Guard force.
The Revolutionary Guard force basically is the military force. Like, let's be real here. And along with that, given the fact that their current major leader has, bit the dust, they've gone into something called the Mosaic tactic, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, the Mosaic defense. Long story short, they break up into like 31 different parts. One for like their capital. Basically, it would be like if we took the entirety of the military, broke it up into like 51 parts, put a part in every state, and then one in DC. That's basically what they're doing. One for like their capital, and then their 30 provinces, the equivalent for like state over there. So,
which has effectively its own army, its own navy, its own intelligence service, its own special forces. It also plays a huge role in the massive, suffocating, brutal domestic security services that are happy to terrorize the Iranian people in the best of times and to massacre the Iranian people in the worst of times.
So wait a minute. You're criticizing him for, for giving them the opportunity to rise up. And now you're saying, oh, well, now they're going to be oppressed. Are you retarded? Am I losing that many brain cells? Am I just getting that pissed off that I can't, like, comprehend how stupid she is?
Which they have done in the last 8 weeks.
Those same 8 weeks that they've massacred 30,000 people on the low end, 36,000 on the high. The same 8 weeks that just last week, Trump said, hey, don't do anything or we're gonna fiddle your stick in the wrong way. And we gear shifted them straight from fifth to reverse. Wow. I want to... I need to calm myself down. You could describe this as something. I've spoken about academic detachment before, where it's kind of fence setting. You can also describe it as both sides are bad, rather than both sides are good. Now, clearly, as you can tell, Mad Cow over here Little Miss Retard, she criticized Trump for caring, or at least she implied that he was only pretending. You know, a few minutes ago, Jesus, where she said, "Oh, he cares so much. He's such a bleeding heart." Yeah, well, now she's saying, "Oh, but they just massacred people over the course of 8 weeks. Oh my goodness. Pick a fucking lane. Like, quit giving me this, like, detached bullshit. I don't. Ugh. Journalists, you don't hate them enough."
The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps has massive economic interests. They have a huge hold on multiple sectors of the Iranian.
Why are they still the Revolutionary Guard if they're the government? It seems a little bit of a That seems like a little bit of a misnomer, doesn't it?
Economy.
That's besides the point.
And to state the obvious, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps is not the kind of force that's going to go poof if a Donald Trump airstrike manages to kill Iran's supreme leader.
You're right. They go crack. And then they turn into 31 little itty bitty bits and pieces. And then they scatter everywhere else. Where if the people wanted to, they could more easily deal with them. Or, if need be, and they really, really want it, and, you know, they keep massacring people, I wouldn't be surprised if Funny Orange Man decides, you know what? The poor people over there, they've been asking for help. I say we give it to them. And we just, we help them out. We don't give them guns, though. No. That did not happen well last time. Bush.
If they do kill the supreme leader, which appears maybe to be what they tried to do earlier today.
They did in the end. At this point in time, it wasn't confirmed. So I'm not going to hold that against her.
Then what will happen? I mean, this isn't Venezuela. There's no vice Ayatollah who's going to step in and take over the top job except...
There was. There was. If my memory serves, it was actually like the guy's kid immediately like took up his position. And we killed him too.
She'll take calls from Marco Rubio. Right? What will happen then? If you vote...
Want to see me do it again? Oh yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Third Ayatollah. It's AYA. Third Ayatollah. Dun, 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 dun. I know that's my Sharona. Let's see. Let's see. No, I'm using Wikipedia on the side here, just because usually it at least has some sort of reference. It's saying it's vacant, which actually might just be because we've killed the other guys, but I guess she wouldn't be able to know at the time. But oh, how does that one Marvel's character say it? Again, again, again. Oh no, no. I'm getting off topic.
Voted for Donald Trump for president because you believed the hype that he was America first, that he was against foreign wars, that he was definitely against regime change wars in foreign country. Well, again, good morning.
Never-ending regime change wars. Good job with the misquotation. But yeah, he's anti-forever war. Along with that, we haven't entered a war. We went in, we came, We saw, we blasted our load everywhere, and we flew away. And guess what? Whoop-de-fucking-do. It did what we wanted. I voted for him, personally, because I didn't like how Biden was doing stuff, and I didn't trust Kamala. She couldn't string a sentence together without using the same words 5 times 4 different ways. But it's besides the point. It's worth noting that we haven't gotten into any new wars. We've gone into little conflicts. You know, like how Biden got into a little bit of a no, that was already a war. Bush. So you could count it the same way that you could count Obama. You know, just a drone strike. Along with that, last time he did a drone strike with a Soleimani, we didn't get into a war there. So, oh no, going down the same path as we did last year? How horrible! Oh no.
Morning, I hope you slept well. But the president in
repetition, you've already said that once.
This case says explicitly that this is a war we are waging for regime change.
I would love to hear him say that. Or are you just pulling shit out your ass? Because I'm fairly sure, I've said it before, consider this repetition at this point, but only Congress can start a war. We are giving the Iranian people opportunity to truly oust their government. Because quite frankly, they are not going to be able to do it on their own. I mean, didn't she also just say that that government has been suppressing them on good days and just slaughtering them on bad? Well, not on bad, implied on bad. You know, she technically, I believe, said for the past 8 weeks. I would love to know how otherwise they would be able to stand up against that.
Existing leader, Khamenei, who has been in place since 1989, there is no other person of that stature to just pop in place and
his son
say, okay, it's done. We've made that change. And so if you really did want the Iranian people themselves to rise up in some kind of popular uprising and totally change their
30,000 people. 30,000 people are dead. 36,500 people on the high end are dead by doing that. So, sorry to burst your bubble, you dipshit. But they've tried. They got massacred. Donald Trump said, hey, stop that. Khamenei said, what are you going to do about it? And Trump trumped all over him. He said, listen here, you silly little man. I'm going to turn your sand to glass. Gonna be beautiful. Really nice glass. You're not gonna be able to see it. It'll be like a glass coffin. You'll be dead. Died like a dog. You know, something like that.
Form of government, if you wanted the beleaguered and oppressed Iranian people to organize very quickly into a new populist political force to rise up against, among other things.
So, okay, hold on. No. Wait, I just realized something. She's a retard. Actually. She just said, oh, you can't just pop a new leader into place. Okay, so there's a power vacuum. That gives the... How did she put it?
Very quickly into a new beleaguered and uprising and
how'd she put it?
Change their form of government. If you wanted the beleaguered and oppressed Iranian people.
Right, the beleaguered and oppressed Iranian people, the people that get slaughtered under the regime. By taking out their leader, you remove a huge portion of any sort of stability. This allows those beleaguered and abused and oppressed people to rise up into that power vacuum. Wrath. Anger. It is a disease. But yeah, I said it earlier. fucking academic detachment. But this right here, this is journalistic detachment, where you sound like a retard no matter what you say, because you're trying to play both sides. A good example of this would be some things Piers Morgan would say. I like my country. We've been enriched culturally, and they bring over great food. But that's just more so Pierce being an idiot. Not a good example.
To organize very quickly into a new populist political force to rise up against, among other things, the security services there that have been massacring them by the thousands this month and last.
Yeah, you get rid of the guy in power, the guy in charge, leaves all those people scrambling, and enables the little guy, the underdog, to rise up.
If you wanted that to happen, you probably could have taken some steps to help that happening.
I think I finally understand Jax. How just slowly losing his mind, and then he just, comes back full zen. I realize I can't say the truly mean things on here because YouTube is a den of cowards. Just let her say it again.
The Iranian people themselves to rise up in some kind of popular uprising and totally change their form of government. If you wanted the beleaguered and oppressed Iranian people to organize very quickly into a new populist political force to rise up against, among other things, the security services there that have been massacring them by the thousands this month and last. If you wanted that to happen, you probably could have taken some steps to help that happening.
One step, get rid of the guy in charge. It's a fast step. It's an easy step. It's very effective. Unfortunately, they had someone on the stairs, which we promptly knocked down. And I've heard tell that we had a third guy that was coming up the stairs, and we obliterated him too.
To make sure they can organize and can communicate.
Oh, wait a minute. Take some steps to make sure they can organize and communicate. Oh, like reconnecting the internet that the Iranian government cut off. Now, wait a minute. Oh, fun fact. If they cut the lines, you would have to go there and reconnect the lines. So you're telling me that we should have sent troops into Iran? Little Miss Mad Cow? Are you seriously trying to say, oh, let's send in troops. Let's go ahead and enable the people to communicate? What a stupid bitch. Like, genuinely. Oh, you can't take the step of removing the leader and allowing the people to, recollect in the leader's position. Let the power vacuum suck people up. No. Let's send in troops. Let's send in the people on the ground. I thought you didn't want war. Because sending in people would constitute war closer than just, thunk. Because if we send in troops, Iran already has said that they're at war with us. Now they would actually have justification. And you want to give them that justification. What a dipshit.
Right? Maybe you would have turned the internet back on.
Oh, there it is. Yep. How would we do that? We would have to go there. I can go downstairs right now, disconnect my internet. No one's going to be able to access the internet from the Wi-Fi router until they reconnect that cable. They would have to go downstairs. Go into my living room, plug in my router, and then they would have internet again. But they would have to do that manually. Once again, oh no, let's send in troops. What a fucking dipshit.
And when you, Donald Trump, in your baseball hat, proclaimed on that weird taped message today that the Iranian police and the security forces and the Revolutionary Guard must surrender, they must lay down their weapons, as Donald Trump said this morning at 2:30.
Play the clip. Come on.
If that was what you wanted to happen, because you wanted the domestic security situation to become less dangerous for the Iranian people to rise up and overthrow their government, if you actually wanted to make that happen, instead of just saying it,
he told them not to do something, and then he showed them why they shouldn't have done it. I think it's fairly reasonable for him to just say, hey, maybe you should do this. Because look at the last guy.
The U.S. government, maybe you as the U.S. government in coalition with other allies.
No, he's the president. He isn't the whole U.S. government.
That you might have bothered to bring on board. You might have given the Iranian police and revolutionary.
Isn't it funny? This isn't hindsight. This is after the fact. Saudi Arabia's with us on this. Fun fact. Because Saudi Arabia didn't like Iran. I mean, none of the people down there like each other. They really don't like Israel. But that's it for a different reason.
Guard and security services some instructions on how to surrender and lay down their weapons.
Lay down your weapons. Motherfucker, do you need an instruction to turn off a light switch? Do you need help unscrewing a bottle? Maybe turning the keys on your door. It's oh my god, how stupid is this woman? Genuinely. I'm not sexist, for the most part. But she's the exception. I guess, no, that wouldn't be sexism at that point. No, that's just because it's her. Oh my Christ. Like, genuinely. Lay down your arms. Well, how do you lay down your arms? You put them on the ground.
Some path to do that.
Gravity. You could just let go.
Which Trump did not.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. You could just say, let him go. Let him go. Don't hold on anymore. Like that one lady from the movie. Except instead of ice, it's lead and an AK-47 and a little bit of brass. You just let it go. Put it down on the ground. What a...
As I say, you might have taken steps to turn the internet back on.
Okay, send in troops, right. So they would have even more of a reason to try to declare war on us, to try to attack us. So we would have to risk American lives for your stupidity. For your stupid, oh, well, why didn't you just do this? I don't... Ooh.
Iran. So the people there, the Iranian people could reach each other and the world, and so the world could reach them too.
You know, we tried to do that. Fun fact. Elon Musk tried to send in Starlink. Unfortunately, it didn't really do much. But we tried without sending in American people. Because guess what? If the Iranian people wanted to turn the internet back on, they would have. Or at least if they could have. I shouldn't say if they wanted to. But if the Iranian people, like civilians, could turn the internet back on, they probably would have. Given the fact that they didn't, it means that there's military control over the internet. Considering there's military control over the internet, it would mean that we would have to send in soldiers to military locations. You know what that means? It means it's just another thing that you could say, oh, we're going to be starting a war. Ah! Dumb cunt.
If you actually wanted the Iranian people to have a chance rising up against the regime that has...
You get rid of the person in charge, so every aspect of their government is currently scattered. Or at least, sorry, correction. Not their government, their military. So that their military thus scatters across the country. And because it is now decentralized, it would be easier to deal with.
Wow, it's almost like we did something.
I kind of wish my mic could pick up my voice. Just to get the full range of the Aster voice box. What? Yeah. What an idiot.
Has oppressed them for so many decades. You might not have gutted the crucial Farsi language Voice of America communications platform and put it in the hands of a soft-focus election denier local news anchor who is most famous for proclaiming the fraudulence of American elections.
How does that fucking connect to it? Because if the Iranian... Fun fact, Iran basically cut off not only the internet, but also, like, all the news, and all they would play was fucking Tucker Carlson. So I don't understand how you can say, oh, you shouldn't have done this to Voice of America. Motherfucker, they had control over what they could see. They had control over what was going in and out. That wouldn't have fucking helped. It's a stupid fucking argument.
If this is a regime change war, as Trump says it is, because Trump is seriously hoping the Iran...
I doubt he would say it's a war, but you know what? Maybe he did. You know what? I won't even call it anymore as quotation out of context or just her intentionally saying something that he didn't. I'll go ahead and say, you know what? Maybe he said it. I don't know if he did. I haven't checked yet. Something tells me he didn't. But I'll let her have it.
Iranian people will complete the job for him.
If he's going to open the doors, he can't force them to walk through. Call this sophistical formula if you want, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. He's leading them to water. They've said they're thirsty. So I'm just going to say that it's probably going to be pretty easy for them to go, oh yeah, let's drink.
It is worth knowing that there has been no serious or even unserious effort by the United States to make it possible.
Kaboom. I'd say that's pretty serious. Considering the fact that we eliminated, 47 different people of high-ranking position in the government of Iran. And not only that, but then we did, like, follow-up attacks to get rid of other, like, Khomeini-ites. The Shah, there we go. Yeah. Like, if only we were doing something serious. Something super serious. Fucking idiot.
Let alone plausible for any uprising by the Iranian people to succeed.
Get rid of the guy in charge? That typically works. I mean, that's worked in all sorts of other places. I mean, fucking Christ, look at the rise of Stalin. You got rid of the guy in charge, and look who followed up. The government didn't do anything because the people in charge were gone.
And so why did Donald Trump just start this war? Why is this happening?
He didn't start the war, technically. Only Congress can start a war. You can say he started the conflict which led to a war, but he didn't start the war.
Cui bono, right? Who benefits? It's always useful to start that question in any country.
Oh, like Hunter Biden on the board of Burisma. Ethically questionable. Ukrainian company that paid him a huge salary despite not having any sort of qualifications to be on the board. Something like that. Cui bono? Who benefits? Yeah. How Biden tried to sign the giant bill that would have allowed 60,000. I spoke about it in a previous video. I think it was, oh no, not 60,000. $60 billion to go to Ukraine.
Oh. Oh. Wow.
Oh.
Who benefits? Who wants Iran?
Yes, who benefits?
Bombed off the map, and for their own reasons.
Who said we're bombing them off the map? I thought you were saying that he was saying that he's allowing them the chance to change their government. And now you're shifting it to, oh, well, he's clearly just bombing them off of the map. Then why didn't he just continue to bomb them? You know, aside from taking out Shaw's. But why didn't he just bomb the entirety of the country? Why did he only go after the immediate leadership? And some of their successors. I think you're pulling shit out of your ass. You're shifting from the passable to the dubious.
Who are Iran's rivals and enemies?
The entirety of the world? Something biggest funder of terrorism globally? I think they're the biggest funder globally. Pretty sure. I know that they are one of, if not.
Perennially, it's the Gulf Arab states, countries like Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates and Qatar.
That is true.
Qatar, the country that just gave Donald Trump a really, really nice $400 million plane, really a gilded flying palace.
Oh, the one that he gave to the government that Trump isn't using, and he's still using Air Force One? Because, you know, national security reasons, they can't immediately use it. They basically had to disassemble it and reassemble it to make sure that it, you know, was safe.
For his own use, both during his presidency and after. Trump plans to take that plane with him and keep using it after he leaves office.
Source? You made it the fuck up?
If he ever leaves office.
If? 22nd Amendment. You get 2 terms. I think it should be the 22nd, if my memory's serving. Either that or 22nd. So the 22nd or the 24th. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. It also prohibits anyone who has served more than 2 terms of another president's term, or correction, limits a person to being elected president of the United States no more than twice. I don't know why I wanted to say 2 times, but twice. It also prohibits anyone who has served more than 2 years of another president's term, either as vice president or acting, from being elected to the presidency more than once. Basically, in response to Roosevelt's 4-term presidency. I can't read, holy shit. Presidency. Which raised concerns about executive overreach and the potential for a lifetime presidency. Well, that wasn't a very big problem back in, you know, George Washington's time. Didn't he get like 6 terms? Hold on. Oh, I thought he served more terms. Huh. I thought they served more terms. I just checked Adams. I thought they served more back then. Just because, you know, people could just send them away. So people would leave because didn't like being the president. But anyway, I'm off topic. They gave it to the government. It's government property. Trump can't use it because national security, whatnot.
And you remember United Arab Emirates, famous for recently structuring a totally pointless crypto financial transaction so that $2 billion.
All of this, by the way, is just completely non sequitur. She's trying to equate, oh, we're only doing this because, people benefit aside from the Iranian people. Like, we're not helping the Iranian people, which can make the argument, sure. But all of this is just conjecture. Well, correction. It is conjecture with a little bit of evidence. But I don't know. This is basically, this is the magic bullet theory, for, I think it was JFK had the magic bullet theory.
Dollars of it would be stuffed into the Trump family's otherwise worthless brand new crypto financial firm. And of course, you remember the Saudis, who stuffed another $2 billion into the pockets of Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, just as Trump's first term in office came to a close. You might remember enough people were...
Investment, which means that he would have to track and write down where all that money went, because that's how fucking investments work.
Alarmed about that when it happened, that the Trump folks actually sort of bothered to come up with an excuse for what made that okay. They said, don't worry, Jared will never again work for the U.S. government. He's never coming back to Washington. So it's okay that he's taken all this money.
So wait a minute. You're saying that Trump said that he wouldn't, but then you're citing something that says Jared Kushner says he would not join a second Trump administration? Now wait a minute. What you're saying and what you're showing aren't matching up. So are you wrong? Or is what you wrote down wrong? I'm going to go with you.
From the Saudis now. We will never have to worry about having somebody involved.
Because if this was said, then she wouldn't be pulling up, for some godforsaken reason, a news title from NBC. She'd be pulling up a quote. She's not pulling up a quote. I'm going to bet that she's probably full of shit.
In U.S. policy, who has also just been given billions of dollars by Saudi Arabia, apparently for no reason. Well,
as an investment. And just saying apparently has no reason. Well, prove that it was for no reason. Come on. I'm not asking you to prove a negative, but, pull up the stuff surrounding why. Were there any sort of weird financial transactions? So far, you've just said, oh, well, they put it into a Trump coin, which,
that was the
let me guess,
explanation when he took all
rug
that
pull?
money from the Saudis at the end of Trump's first term. And now today, who has been leading the negotiations on behalf of the United States government with Iran before we just started this war with them today? I mean, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was in St. Kitts this week. It wasn't him. No, it was Jared Kushner, the president.
The guy who was already down there? Well, it's both. It's not just him. It's also Witkoff. The guy that they hired as an envoy of peace. Considering the fact that he's been in the real estate game for a long time, he knows how to make a deal. Kushner, at least Trump can trust to not fuck it up. And considering he was able to, secure investments, once again, you would probably have to write all that down, because that's how investments usually work. Also, who's the third guy over here?
President's son-in-law recently paid billions of dollars by Iran's chief rival, and nevertheless sitting there alongside.
How recent? No. Give or take 2 years ago? How long ago was that?
And now today, who has been leading started this war with them today? Half easily for no reason.
February 3rd. Okay, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. You want to call that recent? Oh boy.
Rubio was in St. Kitts this week. It wasn't him. No, it was Jared Kushner, the chief rival, and nevertheless sitting there alongside Trump's tiny real estate friend, Steve Witkoff, who has
ad hominem. I know I've used ad hominem throughout this, but I think it's pretty... It's beyond just a, I'm completely ignoring your argument because you're short, like what she's trying to say. Or rather, I'm going to completely negate anything that he could possibly be doing because he's short. She is an idiot. Either that or she's a liar. I'm going to go with both. But once again, Witkoff, he's been in the real estate game for a while. He knows how to make a deal. That's probably why he's there as an envoy of peace. Kushner, Trump can keep an eye on him better. He can trust him to be honest. Just saying.
Sought recently to improve his considerable family fortunes by going to Qatar to seek money from its sovereign wealth fund.
I don't know anything about that. But I would love it if, she showed something. Yeah, she will.
Weird that those talks didn't work, right?
What, the country that says death to America, death to Israel, a curse upon the Jews? That country didn't want to do peace talks and instead decided to massacre their own citizens? Yeah, wow, what a surprise that the peace fell through. It's totally not like we didn't say, hey, don't do that. It's not like we totally didn't say, hey, let's work together, let's deal with this, let's not do anything stupid.
It's like if you were having a backyard dispute with your neighbor, hey, your new fence crosses the property line, comes over into my yard. That tree you just cut down, that hedge you just cut down, hey, that was mine. You're having a neighborly dispute.
Something tells me that this is going to be a faulty analogy. Know how I know? Because she's a dipshit.
With your neighbor on your...
That is an ad hominem.
Block.
And also I don't want to say it's an angel, like a halo effect, because I don't give her a halo, but something tells me I'm right.
And the cops break down your door with a battering ram. They arrest you and your whole family. They ransack your house, and then they light it afire and bulldoze it. And they tell your neighbor, hey, it's all done. You can take his whole backyard, and you can take his house now, too. And as you're trying to figure out why this has just happened, you come to learn that your neighbor has been paying massive bribes to the police in your town. Oh, that's what's going on.
Oh, wow, that's certainly something you could say. It's a faulty analogy, but it's something you could say. I think it would be better to describe it as, someone saying, hey, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot your family. And the cops coming in with a battering ram and shooting the guy and taking everyone out of the house. The house is still there. It is. Like, Iran is still a country. There are still people in the country. They killed the guy in charge. Sure, you can make the argument that maybe the cops were a little bit more to react. A little bit more proactive because the one guy gave a little bit of extra money as a donation to the police department. You can make that argument. I'll give that to you. But when the guy is saying, I'm gonna kill my kids. I'm gonna kill my neighbor. I'm gonna kill the polices. I'm gonna kill all the police. I'm gonna kill the firefighters too. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna pay my cousins to marry into their families and then take them over from the inside. Because that's what Iran's been doing. They've been funding terrorist organizations that have been doing that. Look at what's happened to UK. They have, those are Pakistanis. So you can make the argument that that's separate. That's why I said cousins. But Iran has been saying, we're going to obliterate the US when we get our hands on a nuclear bomb. We're going to use this. We are going to make sure that everyone knows not to mess with Iran and to worship Allah and this and this and that and that. If someone were to say, I'm going to make a bomb in my garage, and I'm going to use it to blow up the police station, and then I'm going to use it to blow up my neighbors, and I'm going to use it to blow up my kids if they don't listen to me. Yeah, no shit. The neighbor's going to say, hey, 911?
Hey, can you come over here? And can you, deal with this guy?
He's being a nut. And the police, as she described it, break down the door and shoot the guy. Now, they don't bulldoze the house and they don't burn it down. Because guess what? The kids, in this case, the citizenry, potentially an uncle that lived in the house who was, accepting, partially supportive of the father's antics. You could consider that the military. They're still there. It's what she described was just a shit analogy. It was meant to be shit. It was meant to obfuscate. It was meant to be not dismissive, but subversive of what the actual situation is. Ugh.
And there's a lot of attention on Israel, and indeed Israel and the United States have worked together in the bombing campaign, not only the one that started today, but the campaign against Iran in June. But it is the Gulf.
Because Iran said, hey, fuck America, fuck Israel, a curse upon the Jews. If they got a nuclear bomb, they would have used it on America, the big Satan, and Israel, the little Satan. They've said this multiple times. Wow, what a surprise. What a shock.
Arab states who are arrayed against Iran.
Riddle me this, okay? Hypothetically, you have someone who has said, I'm going to commit great war crime. I'm going to commit many war crime. On you, on you, on you. And just goes down the list of all of his neighbors. And then he says, I'm going to blow up the police department. And I'm going to blow up our local fire department. No shit, everyone in the area doesn't like that guy. No shit, a bunch of people in the area are assisting. Wow. So shocking. Oh, goodness.
Who want Iran removed as their regional rival.
Oh, shit. What? That's it? Yeah, no shit they want him removed as a regional rival. They're severely unstable. Like Afghanistan? I'm pretty sure Pakistan also said at one point that, and Pakistan is pretty... Ooh, they are not Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Israel, go figure. Like, a bunch of the other Arab, the Arab Gulf countries, don't want them to have a nuke. Because if they get a nuke, they'll use it on everybody. So, I don't understand how someone could be this dumb. Which is why I'm going to attribute all of it to malice. I think she is I think she just hates anything that is done, no matter the reason, because something orange bad. But thank God I'm not orange, I'm yellow. And if you manage to make it this far, I'm losing my mind. But if you manage to make it this far, I'm truly sorry that you had to sit through that and mostly my ramblings. I managed to draw, wow. I managed to draw 13 and a half, not 13 and a half. I can't read. Almost 14 minutes into an hour and 20-ish. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you have, hit the like button. Maybe hit the subscribe button if you, for some godforsaken reason, listened this long. With all that being said, my name is Haster. Later. Come on, tick over into the 2-hour mark. not 2 hours. 120. Come on. Yeah.